So it's Friday. My forklift tyre hasn't been fixed yet. I'm very annoyed about that. Now they're saying it needs a tube. Well, why didn't you order one? So I've got a bit of time to kill. I'm a bit puffed out because I've just been doing this gearbox, but let's have a look at this one. This is Bill's. Bill sent me 2 or 3 gearboxes down and he wants me to have a look at it. Well, there you go, have a look at it. 50 bucks. So the splines here are worn and he wants to know what it needs rather than buying a full rebuild kit. Sorry, my wires in the way. But we're just going to pull it down very quickly, and if there's any faults I'll tell you, but like I said, I don't know if it needs a full kit and a shaft. Who knows? The oil coming out of it was kind of black and it had a few spiky bits, but this is normal with a gearbox, so we don't know what we're going to get into. So let's pull it apart. Just a couple of notes. This is the old-fashioned type of design for here, for the collar. If you can see, that collar has got a notch out there, and there's a little roll pin in there, and that used to allow oil to go through the opposite side. So that was the driver, so this didn't turn round, and then oil eventually went through the other side, this little hole here, because there was the ring inside here. See this ring, where is it now? Here. It allows oil to get onto the main shaft. So this is the old side style. I don't think it's been changed. What else did I find? So they're kaput, don't need them. The oil filter, the oil strainer was kaput. It just came apart in my hands. So that's no good. The nut on here was just sort of finger tight. So now we can take that roll pin out. I think I've got a punch here that'll not go in there, so I'll get another one. I thought I'd move the camera rather than move this flipping wire every 5 minutes. A couple of things to remember before you take this off. There's a pin here and there's a slot there. Just put your small punch and make, you know, turn this like that, and make sure that that pin is in line with that slot. You can't really see it because I can't get my camera high enough, but that's really important because otherwise you'll have problems taking it out. So the next thing we've got to take off, we're nearly there for stripping it down. You got to take these 2 bolts out of here and this Torx bolt out of there with a spring. Don't worry about the middle one for now, and that should be alright. Now I filed round here a little bit because it wasn't, it was a bugger to get the little fork off. I did say fork off. This thing here, because if it doesn't slide, you're in trouble. And I've just moved that out of the way again. So, because these little things make life so much more bearable. If a big gearbox is going to be down in bits for a long time, get a tie wrap, and this is the 5th and reverse assembly. Along with the shim, and just tie wrap it all up before you start parts washing and things like this. Because sometimes these are a little bit naughty to put the synchro rings in the wrong way around. Yeah, they are a bit of a funny one, but still, Land Rover, isn't it? But that will save you a lot of headaches if you haven't done one of these before. And next we need to get that spring out. And with our magnet, put the magnet on your punch, we've done this before, and get the ball out so it doesn't go flying across the floor. Right, so available in the shop, world famous now. See, that's what you need it for, to get into them little gaps. I should send one to Dave, shouldn't I? Probably pinch my idea. You've got to get it off the dowels here. That's the trouble, because you can't knock the dowels out. You've got to lift it over the top, and if it's got sealer on, it makes them just that little bit more, as we say, interesting. Don't use, you know, hammers and chisels or things like that, because you can make the job even worse. You don't want to damage the casings. And also, if you're doing 2 or 3 of these at once, it's a good idea to stamp which casing is which with some number punches. These 2 cases are always married together. They're machined in the factory together, so you can't just cobble one up out of 2. Not recommended. This is a bit naughty on here. What I'm going to try and do is get this lot out of here. Behind it, isn't it? Right, so what I'm going to try and do now, I want to get these dowels out of here and clean them and polish them, and then we'll flip this back up the other way around, and then we'll take the casing off. So far it looks not too bad inside. There is metal particles, look, can you see that? This isn't looking good. I've got to change my mind. I'm just going to take a couple of little guide bolts out, well, holding bolts. Take the cover off. Where is it now? Well, that's the dowel. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right, I've taken the cover off. This is an earlier gearbox, I'll show you in a minute. The bearings didn't look too bad actually. Let's see if it'll come off. Be careful with these because they are heavy. Don't want to do yourself a mischief. It's a gearbox. That's alright. So now we're going to put a strap around. Well, we'll take this bit off first. And the synchro. Yeah, these haven't been out. These are the original ones. Original synchro rings. So I'm going to put a strap around here. Why is that, Meg? Well, oh, is that one too short? Have we got any left on here? There. Now, you'll see in a minute why we're putting a hose clip round there is because when we want to take this assembly out, we don't want to try and disturb this 3rd and 4th synchro hub, because otherwise all the bits go bing all over your shop. So what we can do now is lift this out a little bit. Screw it around. So we can lift this up. This can come out. And then we can concentrate on this bit here. There we go. And you can see now we didn't lose the synchro. So that's good, I'm pleased about that. So, there's our bearing races. They look good. What's the rest of it? What's the rest of this like? I'm running out of damn space now. I've got so many gearboxes in bits. You know, sat waiting for. Yeah, I didn't lose it, so that's good. We've got the fork out. Let's have a quick visual inspection. Not too bad. bad. Now, the teeth on this, do this again. I was going to show you a brand new synchro ring against an old one. Unfortunately I haven't got any left. So, the inspection of this is pretty straightforward. I think we can use the bearings on this again. They're not chewed up. They just probably need re-shimming on here. Let's measure up the forks on here, because that's usually a bit of a telltale on if it's going to change gear or not. Well, it will change gear, but are these worn? 7.5, 739. That was me. 739 was my mother's co-op divvy number. Even I can remember that from 50 odd years ago. 7.5, 741. This is good. Let's compare it to the one I was playing around with the other day. This is out of the smashed up TD5 box. And we've got 7, 6.7. Got me bloody thing there. 6.9, 6.5. That's no good. So we'll need new forks for that job. But this one's quite good. So I think that's all right. Parts. Shaft. Synchro rings. I have some springs, I think. I'll have to check them out. What's the rest of it like? Yeah, the bearings are all nice. All the teeth are nice. I think this could be a nice little budget job. Bearings in here. I try not to touch these. I'll clean them up in the parts washer, but I try to leave this alone. The reason why is that's pressed into cast iron, and if you start pressing it in and pressing it out, and if you get it the wrong way around and you make it a mess, you're going to open the hole here and it'll come sloppy. So sometimes the bearing feels nice. I'm going to leave it like that. Right, just before I go, I forgot to do this bit. This is the casing. Now, I hope this turns out, because yeah, you can see inside here is coated with like a gooey, what would we call that? Burnt oil. This oil hasn't been changed for donkey's years. It makes an awful flaky stuff. Look, you see that stuff? This eventually gets into the oil strainer, blocks it off, starves the shaft and buggers up the bearings. So simple. Change your oil. Right, I'll be back once I've got this. There's some parts and we'll put this back together. Whether I'll film it or not, I don't know. We've done so many now, it's just getting a bit boring, isn't it really? Anyway, have a great weekend. My tyre's ready, they've just called me. Happy days.